10-Minute Jazz Lesson Podcast, episode 491. Hey everybody, welcome into part 2 in our series on the altered sound. Now, before we get into this week's episode, just a reminder that you can get a video version of all these podcasts on my YouTube channel. Just simply go to YouTube, search for Nick Manella, and this will be the latest video on my channel. Also, a reminder that you can get all of the materials that we're going over, backing tracks, trading tracks, all the PDFs by choosing to support the podcast. And you can find a link on how to do that in the description below this episode. So last week, our discussion was based on going up a G Mixolydian scale in the key of concert C and coming down the A flat melodic minor scale and concerning ourselves with the resolution points. Right, so kind of dealing with that sound. Now today what we're going to talk about is the vertical applications of this. And we're going to get started on some of the basics and what I consider to be the essence of the vertical sound using altered arpeggios and chordal patterns off of that A flat melodic minor over the G7. Now, this week, as promised, we're going to do both a major cadence and a minor cadence, because we know that this is a really, really beautiful sound to use over a minor tonality as well. So let's start by studying the major iteration of this. We'll do a couple of examples, and then we'll move into the minor. All right, so this week we are actually going to consider the 2 chord. So instead of just 2 bars of 5 to 1, we're going to do a 2-5-1. And the basic idea here is over the 2 chord, we want to use a major triad based off of the 3rd. So if we're in the key of concert C, we have a D minor 7 chord, we're going to use an F major triad. And then over the 5 chord, we're going to use an A flat minor triad, which is just the root triad of that A flat melodic minor scale. And then all we're going to do is resolve that to a C major sound. And this could be a C major triad or a C major 7th chord, doesn't really matter. So if we put those 3 vertical structures together, it sounds like this. And I think you can hear already, even without like any context, you hear that sort of consonance, dissonance, consonance, inside, outside, inside. All right, so what I've done this week is I've prepared 4 examples for you where we're going to play off of those 3 different structures over a 2-5-1 in C major to start with. Okay, so here's the first example. It's actually pretty straight up. But let's try it. 1, 2, a 1, 2. One more time, run it. So you can see I'm just going up and down those triads, 1 at the beginning of each measure, and you're starting to get that sound in your ears, get that structure underneath your fingers. Okay, here's example number 2. Now I'm just doing it in a slightly different way. 1, 2. 1, 2, 3. And you'll notice in both of those examples, I'm resolving to the 5th, which again, we talked about last week, is a really great place to resolve. So let's look at 2 more examples, and this time we're going to resolve to the 3rd. 1, 2, 3. And there is something that we haven't seen yet where we resolve going up by a half step. So I think that's a really cool thing that happens when we're studying some of these vertical structures. All right, one more example that resolves to the 3rd. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. And all of these examples are just simply two triads, but organized in a whole bunch of different ways. Now, these hit home even harder when we listen to them in context with some kind of backing track. So let's go over all 4 lines with a backing track before we move on. Okay, so there's your major examples. Now, let's move on to a minor 2-5-1. So now we have concert D minor 7 flat 5 to some type of concert G7 chord. You might see it as flat 9, alt, whatever. This stuff is fair game over basically any of that. And then we're resolving that to C minor 6. So the only change that happens here is that instead of playing a concert F major triad, we're going to play a concert F minor triad over the first chord. Then we're still going to move to that concert A flat minor triad. And then obviously we're going to resolve that to a minor 6 shape. So we put that stuff together, we got And as you start to work on this, I want you to look really, really closely at the voice leading between those two triads, or those 3 structures, as they move to the one. Because for sure, there are some really, really interesting relationships in there, and that's kind of what this is all about. Okay, so let's move into our 4 examples for this sound over the minor 2-5-1. All right, here's example number 1. One, 2, 3. Again, we're resolving to the 5. The next one, you're going to notice that we're still resolving to the 5. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. I love the sound of those 2 triads leading into each other. Okay, now in these next 2 examples, we're going to do something really, really interesting. We're going to resolve to the 9th over the 1 chord. And I think that that is such a nice sound in a minor tonality. And altered, it really lends itself well to resolving to the 9 when you're in a minor tonality. So check out these 2 examples. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, when I'm playing these unaccompanied, maybe that 9 doesn't really make sense to you, but don't worry, I'm going to play them with a backing track and you'll hear how nice that 9 sounds. All right, one more for this week. 1, 2, 3. Okay, let's put these 4 examples into context with a minor 2-5 backing track. Okay, so now we've got the horizontal scale application and some really cool things to work on from last week's lesson. And now we've got a vertical application so that you could really hear it and conceive of it and practice it in two different ways. Now, if you want all the examples that I've gone over today on screen, as well as backing tracks and a trading track so that we could practice this stuff together and bounce ideas off of each other, hit the link in the description below. Become a member, a free member of my online jazz education platform, Jazz School. And once you're in, you can see some instructions on how to become a channel supporter with a small monthly donation. And in return for that donation, you get all of the materials for every lesson and every video that I put out. This is a great way to make sure that we can keep putting out lessons like this. Show your support and get some stuff to practice on a regular basis. So hit that link in the description. All the instructions will be there, and I look forward to seeing you over in Jazz School. Okay, I'm gonna finish off the episode by doing some trading tracks. So if you got your instrument with you, let's trade some eights. We'll do this in a minor 2-5-1 in concert C, and we'll each get 2 times through, and we're gonna try to use these vertical triadic structures to create what we're playing, to give us some practice on the concepts that I've gone over in this video today. As always, thanks for watching, thanks for hanging, and we'll see you next week with another episode. Bye, everybody.